Morning, everyone. Unfortunately, nobody told me that I can't do live demos coding while doing live demos. So I'm just showing my IDE. My name is Martin Westergaard Lassen. I work as a software pilot from Trifork in London. Have a Twitter handle as well. Sorry, my voice is a bit flaky. I've been a bit of a tool fanatic for quite some years and a Java developer. I have a boring background in writing Java with a heck of a boilerplate code. So I always try to look how I can get the tools to write all the boring stuff from in my code. If you look at a typical Java application, you have a model which has some fields, have a few getters and setters, and well, for a reasonable to-do application, you need 8 layers of abstraction and then a front end of some kind. And oh yeah, by the way, you need some testing as well. And that's the usually order the things are being produced, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think that is TDD, test-driven development. That might be development-driven test. So I want to show you a few tricks on how to do the right thing. Write your test first, 7 layers of abstraction, and then a model might pop up in the end. So the first thing we need is the abstraction layer. So that is of course we need a class. That is oops. Can you see this? Lovely. And if I was able to spell, sorry for that. Well, fortunately I can just rename it like that. I think most people know that today. The first thing we need is the test case. So if you're unfortunate enough to use Maven, there are some quite distinct ways of naming conventions for your test cases. And most IDEs actually follow these naming conventions. So just create a new test case. Yep, that is a task manager test. It's a unit 4. We need a setup method. And here we go. Yes, we want to put that into version control. And what we want to test is the task manager. Just call the manager and initiate it. I don't know if you know this, and there's an IDE, IntelliJ talk later on, but one of the best shortcuts in IntelliJ is the qualified, sorry, I don't know the name of it. Anyway, the qualified completion. So right now there's only one thing I can actually write there, and if I type Control-Shift-Space, it pops right in. Try to use it, always. The next thing we need is a test case. So unit 4 will store task in Deo layer, like that. Hopefully I can scroll a little bit. So the manager needs to store something. It's a new task, and the task has a title. Oops. Quite a lot of errors here. So this is where the dynamic developer will just be able to proceed. All that is that's just done for him. More or less. At least he won't get compile errors. But we do. We want to work in a more can't remember the word of it, but intuitive is not a word. Well, the first thing you need to do is just create that task. So it's a quick fix for that. Import, well, we don't have it yet. So create the task, and the model, put it into the model package. And yeah, that's red, doesn't matter. We'll just create it for us. And of course the constructor takes the title, and that's it. Quit it. And I saw that error again yesterday. Fortunately, there are some. There's a bug in an idea. Fuck. That's why you shouldn't do live demos. I've heard. Let me see if I can do something about it. Fortunately, can't. Just do a quick restart. So I really think that developers should always try to challenge the IDE, just like your childhood friend, where you always try to find the personal borders of your best friend. Today we have version control systems, and they will always help you to get back into a state where you knew you were. So there's really no reason for not trying to really try to push your fortunately, I'll have to write that again. I'll do that. Let's see what happens. Man, it's really screwed up. Maybe it's the font size. Font. Turn down a little bit, see if that changes anything. So the manager needs to store something. That was the new task, which had a title like that. So the next thing we need to do is create the method. And the IDE knows where, well, obviously knows where it is already, where it should place it. So just do that again. And yeah, it's a void, text task, and the name of the parameter is a task. Quit the class again, and we're back. The next thing we need is something to expect. So we will verify that a task, task deo has been called with a store, and oh, we need that again. And the task. A lot of red things again. Let's see what the IDE can do. So the first thing we want to resolve is the task deo. So we will create a field for that in our test case. That is a task deo. Oh, another red one. See what we can do. We can actually create an interface. So we'll do that. Deo. Yep. And verify. And the IDE constantly scans the whole class path for classes and method and you name it, fields of all kind of stuff. So it had actually found a qualified method we can use for this one, a static method. So we'll just import that. And then it realizes, hey, sorry mate, you don't have a store method on that class. Interface. Again, just create it. Yeah, it's void, it takes a task, and that's it. So, and we need to mock that. Task deo equals, I think it's mock deo.class exactly. Again, it has a qualified import for that. And unfortunately, we might want to use that in the constructor as well. So import it, create constructor. A neat little trick here is quick fix on that parameter. You can actually have it to create a field for you, just like that. So created the field, popped it right in, and yeah, the IDE already started to code for you. So there's the thing is here, there's less for you to concern about. You can actually see where to start to implement your things, and you have the test case running in the background. If you go back to the test, here, I can run it already. Yeah, there we go. I have a few mistakes already. The store method haven't been called. So yeah, go ahead and fix that. As far as I'm concerned, that is actually real TDD. I wrote my test before I actually started implementing my 7 layers of abstraction. And here at the end, I want to show you a little dirty trick. We all know that we are still sitting in our test case. Then we need to add a new method on one of our layers of abstraction. And unfortunately, we have 3 different DAO layers. There's one in memory, there's one for SQL, and an embedded database. So the code won't compile, and we can't run our test. We need to implement all these methods in our DAO layers. So what I'll do is open this one. I will create a new. I will implement that interface, and we call it a mem. Oops, and put in a mem package. Yeah. Fortunately, it's too early for us to implement that one, so we won't do that. So if I run my test again, I get a bunch of errors. But that's pretty far from where I was actually working right now. I was still in my test case, trying to write the first layer of abstraction. And I'm bothered with this one, and I really don't need that. So the dirty trick here is look at the enemy and switch to the Eclipse compiler. And in your run configuration, you switch to, instead of doing a complete make, you're doing the dirty one, which is complete no error check. Ouch. Huh? Sounds horrible. But if I run my tests again, I can run it. No context switched in. So I'm still working in that test case and the first layer of abstraction that I was actually unit testing. And that's about it. Any questions? Not. Yeah. Thank you.